Boxing truth here. Let me talk about this Lomachenko Rigondeaux situation. There were a bunch of fights this past Saturday. They all went according to plan. There were no upsets. Uh, it's not much to talk about. So I didn't get a chance to talk about the situation with Lomachenko and Rigondeaux. So let me talk about it. Rigondeaux's once again calling out Lomachenko repeatedly. Say he wants to fight the best, and he considers Lomachenko to be the best. Even puts him in his top 5 pound for pound list. Now, the narrative from the Rigondeaux fanboys is that Lomachenko is ducking. Bob Arum is scared to make the fight. Shit like that. But the truth is, Rigondeaux needs to come to the realization of what he's worth for this fight. He's still acting like he's the biggest option on the table for Lomachenko, and that's not true. Here's the difference between Miguel Mariaga as Lomachenko's opponent and Guillermo Rigondeaux. You see, Miguel Mariaga, he'll fight Lomachenko for 250, 300K. And that is a deal breaker when it comes to Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux feels he's worth $1 million for a Lomachenko fight. And that is the issue here. That is still the issue. Rigondeaux is still pricing himself out for a Lomachenko fight. People act like this is the biggest fight or a huge super fight, but it's not. Rigondeaux just doesn't bring jack shit to the table. If it was such a big fight, if he was such a big star, then he wouldn't be fighting on undercards. He wouldn't be struggling to find opponents, and he wouldn't be having to travel overseas to fight no-name bums like James Dickens. The situation is what it is for Rigondeaux. He has no network. He's got no promoter backing. He has no real promoter backing him. He brings no money to the table. So fights involving him are hard to get made. It takes him a year to make fights against mandatory challengers like Moses Flores. I wonder how long it's going to take for the rematch to occur. It might take another year because there's no platform, there's no network to showcase Rigondeaux unless he's fighting on an Andre Ward undercard. So it's very difficult business-wise to get Rigondeaux active, because he doesn't have anything at his disposal. He doesn't have a network. He doesn't have a promoter backing him. So it's a little difficult to make fights. But Rigondeaux could make a fight with Lomachenko, but he needs to come to the terms of what he's actually worth. He can't expect to get any more than what Salido was offered for that August 5th assignment for a rematch against Lomachenko, where he was offered a guaranteed purse of $720,000. So Rigondeaux can't expect to get any more than that for a Lomachenko fight. The money is simply just not there. He needs to be reasonable for the parties involved to make it feasible enough to make this fight. The thing is, Bob Arum is not afraid to make this fight. He's tried to make this fight in the past. He stated in the past that this is a fight he will actually pay money to see, because it involves probably the two of the best amateurs ever. Both have won 2 gold medals each. The thing is, they're 2 weight classes apart now. And Lomachenko is the more relevant fighter. He is considered higher on the pound-for-pound list. He is considered the guy with the much more upside. He has the real promoter backing him. He has a network backing him. And he's a guy that's behaving like a fighter. He's being active. He's fighting. He's taking the fights that are out there, that are available to him. And Mariaga, he's not the best fight in the world, but it's not a bad opponent either. Mariaga's a good fighter. He's only lost to good fighters. He's given both of those guys hell that he lost to. He's a rated contender. He's moving up in weight for this assignment, but it's a good, entertaining showcase fight for Lomachenko. It's a stay busy fight. I mean, what else is he gonna do? Not fight? He's not going to stay active. I mean, I suggest Rigondeaux do the same thing. Get that rematch out of the way with Moises Flores, and then perhaps make the fight late or early next year for Lomachenko. Arum is willing to make the fight. The thing is Rigondeaux willing to take what he's worth? And he's still talking about show me the money for a Lomachenko fight. So that interprets that he still thinks he's worth all this type of he's worth all this type of money just for this fight. The thing is, Lomachenko doesn't need Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux needs Lomachenko. That is the truth. Lomachenko, there's always going to be opponents for him to fight. He's always going to be active. He's always going to want to be seen by the public. Rigondeaux, not so much. People don't give a shit about Rigondeaux because he doesn't fight. He doesn't entertain when he fights. And all he does is talk shit. So, who's really interested in Rigondeaux's career? It's been a waste. Has done jack shit since the Donaire fight. Has fought opponents worse than Miguel, way worse than Miguel Mariaga. And he's talking about Lomachenko cherry picking. Rigondeaux's been cherry picking since the Donaire fight, man. So, Bob Arum is willing to make the fight. And his track record has proven in the past that he's willing to match his elite fighters in his stable against any other fighter outside top rank. He's done it in the past. He did it with Oscar De La Hoya. He did it with Manny Pacquiao. He matched those guys with top fighters outside of his stable. De La Hoya against Trinidad. Pacquiao against Barrera. Pacquiao against Hatton. Pacquiao against De La Hoya. And he's willing to match Lomachenko against the top fighters in other promotional stables. I mean, you really think Bob Arum doesn't have the confidence in Lomachenko? I mean, look what he let Lomachenko participate in the purse bid to fight Gary Russell because that's how confident they were. Even though he was going to be the B-side, he was the B-side in that fight. He was in danger of getting robbed, especially on Al Haymon show against Gary Russell. But Bob Arum and his matchmakers were so confident that he would whip Russell so badly that they couldn't rob him. And that's exactly what happened. You don't do that unless you show absolute confidence in your fighter to participate in that type of fight like Lomachenko did against Gary Russell. Fight on another guy's network, fight in another guy's environment, fighting on another guy's show. Still came away with the victory. So Rigondeaux just needs to be reasonable with his terms, and he can get the fight. Call Bob. Stop with the Twitter fingers. Stop with the call outs through the public. Stop negotiating through the public. Make the fight in private. Call Bob Arum, and you're gonna get what you wish for, bro. You're gonna get an ass whooping. You Rigondeaux fanboys are gonna be the cause of this, of Rigondeaux getting knocked the fuck out by Lomachenko, because that's what's gonna happen. Lomachenko is the future. Rigondeaux is the past. He had his chance to be something special. He didn't deliver. He couldn't deliver. He just wasn't entertaining enough to deliver. And now Lomachenko is the new guy. The new guy in town. And he's here to stay. Rigondeaux is just getting older. Just more inactive. Can still punch. Can still fight. But not quite the fighter he once was 5 years ago. It's a big jump in weight. Rigondeaux is chinny. And he's fighting a bigger, fresher, stronger, even more athletic guy in Lomachenko. An upgraded version of him. It's over for your boy if Rigondeaux takes that fight. But that's the only fight out there for Rigondeaux. Who the fuck is he going to fight at 122? No one seems to be interested in 126. So this is the only fight out there for him. This is his chance to stamp his legacy, to be considered a Hall of Fame fighter if he was actually to somehow move up 2 weight classes and upset Lomachenko. But we all know what's going to happen if Rigondeaux moves up 2 weight divisions. Loma will make an example of him. He'll embarrass him and eventually retire him. And it'll be all the Rigondeaux fanboys' fault for pushing this fight and getting him knocked the fuck out by Vasyl Lomachenko. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.